You're listening to 515, the Ultra Podcast, the show that invites you into the lives of people who make up the Ultra family. Here's your host for these conversations, Larry Ryan.
Thanks, MJ. This is the final special edition episode from Ultraman Arizona, where I speak with our two champions, one of which who set a new world record. I'll also speak with Shane Duffy to update the quest for 6 515 races in 12 months. I'm now here with Cynthia Bartus at the award celebration, and Cynthia was the 2023 Ultraman Arizona Women's Champion. Congratulations, Cynthia.
Thank you so much.
You did that in a time of 30 hours, 18 minutes, and 3 seconds. How do you feel about your race over this past 3 days?
I feel like I trusted the plan.
El plan?
El plan, which was just to go out there and just do the very best that I could with what I had in me. There are so many variables that are always going to be out of your control. So I just was really sticking to my plan of controlling what I can control, which was my mind and my body, and everything else just was going to happen. I really relied on my crew. Who were always awesome. My husband, Steve Thompson, and Mary and Randy Latza, who got me into this crazy adventure. But they really bring their A game to all of these events, and just seeing their faces and knowing they were out there to control the other variables that I couldn't control was really wonderful. So yeah, just one foot in front of the other, whether it was pedaling on the bike or running, and then one arm in front of the other with a little bit of mulch and debris thrown in there on the swim. But we made it through, and here we are.
Yeah, and Randy's got some good experience here, and he's got a lot of ability to make sure that things are happening on the crew side, even though he looks like a clown out there.
Yeah, yes, looks can be deceiving.
and for those of you that don't know Randy, he does dress up for all 3 days. Well, at least the 2 days. Did he have a costume on the run day?
Yes. He had a variety of costumes to start. I think it was...
because it's far away, it's kind of dark. So
lots of photo ops happening here. Yeah. He did have a costume on the run until he actually had to start running with me, and then he ditched it to try to keep up with me.
Mm-hmm. Of course. Now, you're not a rookie here. You've done a couple of these events already in 2018 with Ultraman Florida and Ultraman World Championship. How do you think this one compared to those? I know this was not your fastest time of the events, but you have come out as the women's champion. How do you think the 3 races compare?
I really think that this course was as hard, if not potentially harder, than the World Champs. The difference here was I think the weather was maybe a little bit more favorable than World Champs. And the swim, I was surprised at how tough the swim ended up being. The rain, I think, that we had, believe it or not, in the Arizona desert leading up to the swim really created some challenging conditions as far as just debris in the water, which I wasn't quite expecting. I trained for cold water swimming, so I felt pretty comfortable temperature-wise. But I think I went into the swim a little bit more confident than the conditions really proved to be. So that was my biggest challenge. But I came out of the swim pretty good temperature-wise. And the bike, I just knew I had to save myself for what I knew was going to be a very challenging day 2 with the climbing and the winds that ended up picking up. And then day 3, I knew the run was going to be a beast, so I really did try to hold back on day 2 just to be able to get through that run healthfully and safely. And thankfully I did, and glad to be able to cross the finish line in the position that I did.
And that comes through from that experience that you've had from previous races. Obviously, you didn't burn all your matches in day 1 or day 2, and you knew to save some for that day 3.
Absolutely.
Now, you have come first in an Ironman race in Lake Placid for your age group.
Oh,
is
yes,
that correct?
yes.
So which one do you think was better, first in Ironman or first in Ultraman?
Oh, Ultraman always. And as an anecdote that I will share, it's just really been something that I think about often, is someone told me as we were in the middle of a race that it's not about the victory, it's about the journey and the experience. And I've held that those words so close to my heart, and it's it used to be about trying to win and doing everything I can to win. And then I realized that's really not what this is about. And I think Ultraman really exemplifies that. It's really not about the place that you come in. It's about just crossing that finish line and the journey that it takes you to get across that line and all the people involved in that journey. And I really appreciate those people and the experiences that get you across the line each day. And that's what's most important to me. I could care less where I end up on a podium. I could care less what I qualify for. The most important thing is being surrounded by people that hold you up and keep you going forward. And that's what I really appreciate.
Yeah. And we just had an auction here at the at the awards party here. And the Trust L Plan t-shirt just went for $500 with proceeds going to an animal charity that was one that Mary Knott supported. And you mentioned her in your acceptance.
Yeah.
And maybe you just want to share a little bit about what it means to you to be able to mention Mary in tonight.
And to be here and to honor Mary, who's no longer with us, but she was my Ultraman World Champs, one of the top 3 women. She was second place, and I was running with her on the Queen K on day 3. And I thought, okay, she's looking pretty strong. There's a chance that she could pull ahead and beat the leader at the time. And I said to her, I looked over, I said, hey, I think I could, I think we're running pretty strong. I think I can help pace you if you want to get together and just get across that line. And I think you have a chance to win this. There's nothing else to talk about for the next 8, 9, 10 hours. So, and she just basically just said to me, she said, oh, I'm not here for the victory. I'm here for the journey and the experience. And that was something, as you said, winning in my age group in an Ironman. And, I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't even register. You're not here to win. I don't understand that concept. But I just started processing that and thinking about that as we were running together, and just those words stuck with me through the rest of the run. And I really just, for the first time, I think, took a moment just to look around and think, wow, this really is the experience that we're here for. And we ended up crossing the line, and she held her second place finish, which was amazing. And we were the top 3 women. And those words just stuck with me. And I no longer thought about, where I placed, but just getting across that line and thinking about the journey and the experience. And I channeled that with me all through this whole weekend of the beauty of the desert, the beauty of the people around me, just the privilege of being able to do these crazy adventures with these crazy like-minded people. And I really took it all in, and, didn't mind that my times might have been a little bit slower. It was just a privilege to be here. So her words were really empowering and powerful. And to know that the proceeds from this auction goes to a charity close to her heart really means the world. So, and her memory carries on, and I continue to do these things for those that are not here with us anymore.
Thank you very much for taking the time to speak to me, and congratulations again on being the women's champion. They've started the slideshow, which is the music in the background, and thank you once again.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm now joined with Maxsim Kniazev, the newest world record champion of Ultraman. This man has come into the race and just rocked it. He has a time of 21:21:05 here in Ultraman, Arizona. He is now 9 seconds better than Australian Richard Thompson. Max, I know you were coming in looking for something even better than that. You wanted to get down into that 20-hour mark, but how does it feel to have a new world record?
Yeah, it is really amazing. And when you said the new world record is so new for me, and I'm glad, of course, I'm happy. In fact, real happy. I agree with Jen. He said a little earlier today when she read my application, when I wrote that I wanted to break records, he thought, nobody will break records in Ultraman Arizona. I didn't know that Ultraman Arizona is a really difficult race. But I know that I'm in great shape, the best shape maybe in my life in the current moment. So I really realized is can be. I improve improved my swim skills. My FTP, on bike became 5.1 watt per kilogram. So who knows? I think he can understand that it's really high numbers. And my running skills also in high level right now. And my best time was on the previous Ultraman on running course is sub 7, 6:58 maybe, close to 7 hours.
Is that in the Cyberman race?
Yeah, on Cyberman race. Same race, Ultraman format, same distance.
5:15 race?
5:15 race, yes. So what can I say about exactly Ultraman Arizona? First surprise, first thing was really cold water. I really didn't expect that it's so cold. It's close to in Celsius 14 degrees. So when I touch it first time, I go, wow, how can I do it? But after maybe a couple of practices, I became
confident.
Yeah, confidence, and it's okay. So good water. I can swim. My goal was to swim to 40 to 45. It's really up by my shape. It's right. I could do it, but in fact I swam a little slow, 1 minute slowly than in Cyberman, my first Ultraman.
Right. Yeah, you swam a 2:54:44.
44, and my previous result was 2:53. Okay. I don't remember seconds. I was a little disappointed about that, but in fact,
but you were first out of the water by a considerable margin.
Yeah. In fact, honestly, it's not disrespectful to all participants. In that race, nobody can compete with me. In fact, because I came here to beat records, and the win was like, of course. After I understood it after
you know
first
the
day.
Times that you need to get those records.
I just maybe I understood it after first buoy, first yellow buoy, because nobody was behind me or in front. Yeah. So I'm not a good swimmer in triathlon, so somebody should be there. And then after swim, I really was in some trouble. I couldn't push my watts. My average training watt level up to 300. It's good for me. And now I pushed 220 to 240 maximum. What's going on with me? Maybe I got some poison after water.
Yes, there were a lot of people struggling with stomach issues from that water.
And they worried how a second day will go for me. Yeah. But in fact, the second day was pretty well. I started easier. I divided a whole distance in K, okay?
Yes,
278. I divided to 3 parts, 100, 90, and 88. Mm-hmm. First 100 I rode like tourist. Of course not like a tourist, but with
for you like a tourist.
Yeah. Maybe 80% from my intensity level.
So what watts were you pushing that?
Watts around 280 to 90.
Okay.
Second part was 90K. I tried to increase my watts, but I couldn't. I couldn't do it. So I saved that level. Right. And only third part, I switched to beast mode and went to finish as somebody hunt me.
There was nobody hunting you, though. Just for the listeners.
But in fact, it was somebody, or sometime was really aggressive sorry to all drivers of Phoenix. Sometimes it was disrespectful to them. I passed them from right side, from left side. Of course, all
within the rules.
Within the rules, yes.
Yes.
But I think drivers know who is that crazy guy.
Yeah.
And in some moments it was because when we go to finish, the wind was with us, 10 wheels. So my speed in some parts was close to 60 km per hour. Like yeah.
Hunting you.
Yeah, and in that moment, I really think that it doesn't matter for me anything. Crash, okay. Some hurt me. It's also had no matter for me.
Right.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah. You were just going to go for that record time, and you had to push what you needed to push, and it didn't matter if it hurt.
Honestly, I have to say big thanks to Steve Keller, last year winner, because I saw his first day bike time and second day bike time. And first day bike time was 3:54, and mine was plus T1 4:16, 10 more than 20 minutes. I thought, how did he do it? It's really too fast. But his second day time was 8:16. I did 7:42.
Yes.
When I got massage, I started to count in some total. By after 2 days, my time was 14:53.
Right.
So to 21:21, I need to run 6:27. I think, okay, let's run. I say to myself, say to me, let's run to 6:25 with some gap here. Okay, I have never run so fast, so huge distance before. Such a long distance before. And in that situation, in that moment, I have to say big thanks to James Scanlan. I really sit on his tail.
Yeah, you were 1 second behind him.
1 second
all the way to the marathon mark.
Yeah, maybe 5 meters, 5 to 7 meters behind him. Yeah. And I ran with them. Our average pace was 4:30. Exactly what I need.
Yes.
And I realized that moment that the finish part will be slow because
of the big uphill.
Big uphill and too steep. I'm not a sky runner. I'm not a trail runner, and I have no skills to run fast from steep downhill. That's why I understood that the 3 miles maybe, or maybe 4 miles up and down.
2 miles up, 2 miles back.
Yeah. Will be can
change your pace.
Yes, can change my pace, my average pace. Yeah. But James, I don't know why he decided to change his shoes. Around 50k. Okay. Yeah, and I went away from him. Then when I passed that last hill, huge hill, I saw in my watch that the average pace was 4:38. I need 4:35. It's 6:27. To finish was around 9k, and I understood that I should run that last 9k faster than 4:30.
Right.
But my legs was close,
tired at that time.
Tired. Yes. I started some dialogue with myself. Yeah. I understood that moment that that price for become best of the world, it couldn't be easy. No way to get a world record. Easy way.
Right.
You should hurt yourself. You should push yourself, and you should sacrifice something.
Yes. And you're that far into the race at that point
Yeah.
that you just have to hurt for a little bit longer
Yeah.
and dig in and give it all you got, because when you're that close and you know that you're that close.
It was, I think, the longest 9K and the hardest 9K. I accepted that risk that I can get collapse.
Right.
And I reject all nutrition, because when my crew team gave me bottle,
yes,
I slow down a little.
Right.
So with no food to finish, right. I had to run.
Yeah, but you were basically in a really fast run at that point.
Yeah.
And if you broke stride,
the last 300 meters.
Yes.
A little hill to finish.
Yes, yeah, there was an uphill.
That 2 days before, I ran that 300 same speed as I rode the day before on bike.
Oh my goodness!
Yes, it's close to 13 k per hour.
Yeah.
Then I run. I feel that I really one more move, a little movement, and I can fall down. I can get a collapse.
Yes.
When I turn left to finish arc, I hit with my shoulder the flag, because I try to choose the cutest, the shortest way.
Yeah.
And in ultra, it's really unusual finish, so nervous and so fast. In ultra races, when the finish time 20 hours, 30 hours.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, doesn't matter. And usually guys last meters walked, just with up hands, cheers everybody. And I had to run till the last meter.
Full sprint.
Whew, yes, now I reliving that emotions. Yeah, it's amazing. And I lay to the asphalt, see to the sky, and the clouds became alive, like vibrations. Wow, it's amazing. And I asked that moment, Jen, am I beat? Did I beat the world record? Did I beat the record? She said me, yes, you ran faster 4 minutes. No. I asked you not about a running course record. I mean total. And she said me, I think a few minutes, you lost few minutes. Yeah. What time? My time. She asked another guy, what's his max time? He said 21:05. What's the Richard Thompson time? Because I remember only 21:21. I forgot seconds. But the fact that I have only 5 seconds, my chances 5 against 55.
Yes.
You mean? you know. Yeah. And she started to find in internet his time. And I realized that moment, if I see her face,
it will be a hint for you.
Yes,
it would show on her face.
Yes, she can show me. Yes. And I asked her not to say me, not say me anything, just show me. And she turned the display, your phone, and I remember just in current moment 2 numbers: 21, 14. 9 seconds, eternity.
That's crazy.
Oh, it's crazy, and it's really, it's like a proof for me, okay, for everybody, but for me, that our reality not only consists from physical objects or some material. In our reality exists something magic, little part. That we can't see it, we can only feel it, but some magic part, and only way to trust it and to believe in your power and yourself.
So when you're running the last kilometer, you must have been looking at your watch every 10 seconds.
I count.
Trying to figure it out and watch.
And I understood that seconds
was there any time when you were like, I'm not going to make it? Were you thinking, I'm going to make it, I'm going to make it?
Yeah. And this was like conflict. One side from me said me, everything is good. Even though you were a little few minutes or few seconds more than course record, your cruise team will cheer you, will greet me.
Right.
But another side said me, "Wow, stop! Are you man or not? What are you doing here? What are you doing your last 3 years? It's your dream, and now it's that moment. Just do it."
Yeah.
And you know, it's that feelings was close to threshold.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
I really feel my threshold. It's not about training threshold. It's like a life threshold.
Okay.
Yeah, it's close to miracle. I touch my finger like a big wall of unknown and impossible, but I touch it on 1 second, and I feel how it can kill me for 1 second, but only touching like a pump. That's the price of 9 seconds.
Yeah. Now, after day 2, were you thinking, "Oh, those damn lights! What if I missed one more light and I got a green?
Absolutely.
I would have this much more time to work with." Like, were you?
Yes.
How were you feeling about that?
Honestly, I thought opposite way. I just imagine how many times I can lose 9 seconds. Some turn for longer way, or maybe some stain or 9 seconds.
Yes.
In 21 hour, it's 100 moments when I can lose it.
Yes.
And of course, same 100 moments when I can save it.
Gave it.
Yeah. I'm really happy. In fact, of course, I think it's more cool to beat record maybe 30 minutes or 1 hour. But I like 9 seconds more than, because it's like
you know that you pushed yourself.
Yes,
to get
and
that.
Richard Thompson now he realizes that he has to just repeat his performance.
Right.
In May 13 or 14, 15, Ultraman Australia.
Yes.
And he will compete.
And he will be gunning to get that record back.
Yeah.
And then will the two of you meet in Hawaii this year? Is he going to come?
Yeah. I think he's.
Or if he
planning.
Gets the record in Australia, maybe he doesn't come to Hawaii.
Maybe, but in fact, it's different things to become a record holder, world record holder, and world champion.
Yes,
it's different.
Right.
And of course, Richard Thompson thinks about sub 20 already, and I began to think that sub 20 is like some edge. For example, with what I can compare with sub 7 in Ironman.
Yes,
it's
very hard line to cross.
And it's good to move something because sub 20 is something that will finish time will start from numeric 1. It's cool.
Yes.
And
19.
Yeah, 19.
Something.
It's 19 is very different than 20.
Yes.
That's why, and it's excited me. I'm very excited to realize, to feel possibility to become a first guy in the world, in the planet, who can do sub 20.
Yeah. No, it'll be exciting to watch both of you guys race toward that.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's only in close and high level competition,
bringing the competition together to push one another,
push each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, people listening will recognize that you are not an English-speaking person by first language. You are of Russian descent, but you live here now in the United States, in California. Was it San
Jose? San Jose.
San Jose.
Yeah.
And so did you get any time to come over here and train on the course previously, or is this the first time you were on the course?
I visited Phoenix in January just to see what the shoulder on the road,
Yes.
or an asphalt, how climbs looks like,
Right.
to understand it's not mountains,
Right.
it's just the hills.
Yes.
And we came to Phoenix 7 days before.
Mhm.
It's not because it's not altitude.
Yeah.
Of course, it's here is dry
heat.
dry air, dry heat. But the fact that in March is pretty well. It's not summertime.
The conditions here were very good for racing.
And of course, the third day was there was brilliant weather.
Mm-hmm. Yes, couldn't have been better.
Yeah, sometimes I feel cold. Honestly, the best conditions to run fast.
Yeah. Well, Max, thank you very much, and Mila, thank you too for joining us. And it's amazing to watch you perform this weekend. I'm so glad I was here for it to see it, and I'm looking forward to watching you break that 20-hour barrier in the near future.
Maybe firstly it will be championship,
world championship,
and then because for sub 20 it's you should to choose right race,
right.
Right
so
conditions, right time.
Are you keying in on a race then to do that if it's not the world championship?
First variant is maybe Cyberman.
Okay.
My motherland race. But it's not so fast. And in principle, I don't want to do Czech race, Czech Ultra.
Because it's the flat loops.
Yeah, it's one loop.
Principle is the right word.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, principle. It's too boring. I respect Petr Vabrusek. He already invited me to battle with him this year to Czech.
Right.
Yeah, but I invited him to visit Ultraman Worlds and battle with me there. I think it's better. So maybe some guys told me today that Ultra Mexico on 515 race.
515 Ultra Mexico. Yes.
So it also can be flat. Or maybe Florida. Florida is will be great because it's official sub 20 in official race.
Right.
So no questions and no doubt.
Yes. Well, that's great. Thank you for taking a few minutes to speak with me and be on the podcast where everybody's enjoyed watching you come in here and break this record this weekend. Your race was fantastic.
Thank you, Larry.
And thank you again.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And now we're back at the Duffy mansion of Arizona, the crew house. It's just the two of us here now. Our other compadres had to leave, Mark Moody, Dan Attard, and Ricky Seuss. So it's just the two of us left here now. They've gone back to regular civilian life. We were just talking about how this quest for 6 Ultraman races in 12 months has been going for Shane. And we just want to get a quick update on how it's going. Because I know from being on the crew yesterday here at the 5th Ultraman distance race, he started to take it in a little bit more. So Shane, can you tell me a little bit about how up until this point, you as you said, you've been checking some boxes, but yesterday you had a bit of a change.
During the run yesterday, everything started off, pretty much as normal as they have for the last 4 of these races. And I was starting to maybe not feel the best as I had been through the last couple of days of the race. A few stomach sort of issues. So the run progressed. We were following our normal, nutrition protocols. But then just after the marathon mark and after we had our last sort of crew stop, I just had this... just a really emotional kind of moment, and which sort of brought me to tears. I was just crying, running down the street on my own. I've never experienced anything like that before. I was just like, what the hell is happening here? And so many emotions were sort of flowing through me. And I think I got to the point, or I was trying to what's happening here? I think I got to the point that I realised that I mean, I guess we're in the last half of the run. I've been doing these races and as you just said, like just checking the boxes and probably not taking them in. And I guess I was getting close towards finishing it. And it was like, I mean, I have my crew, I have that, but I didn't probably have the people that were the closest to me and the people that have kind of, been on this journey from the beginning. So I think I asked you, I got to the corner, I turned around and I ran into Caroline Bloom, and I kind of just pulled myself together before I got to that corner. I didn't realise there was a turn coming. And Caroline Bloom, I had the fortune to race with in Canada in July last year, and she was standing on the corner with a ukulele singing as she normally does. And she just looked at me and she realised that I wasn't okay. And she said, do you need anything? And I said, I just think I just need a hug. I don't know. And so, and then, I think, 5 or 10 seconds later, you actually showed up. And then we started to sort of walk around the corner and I was explaining to you, I just didn't know what was happening. Why I've never had that emotion or that kind of rush of feelings before during a race. And then I had asked you if you could contact my family through the WhatsApp group that we had set up. And then I guess as we started to progress along the road a bit further, you had got on to my wife and I had a chance to speak with Alison. By then I'd kind of gathered myself a bit and I was finding it hard to put into words to her, and I was hoping that I wasn't freaking her out or anything. But
yeah, well, it was like 4:30 in the morning there. I'm sure she wasn't freaked out getting that call at all.
I had no idea of time at that moment. So we had a chance to walk for, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 minutes and just to discuss a few things and for me just to share my thanks for her patience and my family's patience and to allow me to do this. I didn't know if it was in that moment that I was supposed to be thankful. I didn't know if it was. I still don't know what it is. I don't know. But we then had an opportunity to then speak with Brooke, my oldest daughter, and I held it together when I was talking to my wife. But for some reason, when Brooke and I were talking, it was back to teary eyes. So yeah, I still find it hard to sort of put in words and I don't know what it was that put me there. But I think it's just that I've been like treating this very clinically, just like another job, and each of these races has just been like ticking off another job, another list on the task, or a task on the list, and I wanted to like respect the race. I wanted to respect the people. I didn't want this to be. I mean, I guess in some ways I've found each of these races so far to be easy, at a point that I hadn't had to like hurt myself to finish, and that run and over the last 2 days before I had some stomach issues which I've never had to deal with, and we finally got to a point where we came up with a solution, and then after that we actually got to a point also where normally I had a predicted pace that I wanted to achieve, and I've been able to do that each time. But after finalising my call with Brooke, I was happy that it didn't matter what the time was when I got to the finish line. I just was happy to then the weight was kind of lifted and the expectations of trying to achieve some time, which meant nothing to anybody else. And I didn't really have a predicted time for this run. Once all that was lifted, we could actually, smile and enjoy it. Because if we had a push through, I think I would have been a miserable person. I would have made my crew's life miserable, and it wouldn't have been the finish that the race deserved.
Yeah, and now that you are at the end of 5 of the 6 515 races that you're trying to achieve, and you're going to be heading back home to Australia and racing in Noosa again, where it all began. Do you think there's going to be a different perspective on that last race now?
Yeah, I think there will be a finalisation. I think I've got a bit of time between now and then to sort of, take it in. And I mean, I want to approach it the same as I have every other race. I mean, I want to respect what it is. But I guess, when I started to do this, the first time you do a race, you're not sure if you can do it. And then you're just kind of happy to complete it, and the time is irrelevant. And then each time you do it after, you kind of think, well, maybe I could have done this a bit better, and what can I improve? I think I've kind of got to a point now where I'm not worried if my time is faster or slower than I've done before. I'm not worried if someone else might go, oh, yeah, he's slower this time. What's happening there?
Yeah.
I really would like to try and just, I think the thing that I love about this event, is the people. And I want to make sure that when I do get to Noosa, the people who are attending for their first time that were like me when I first started and when I first got involved as a volunteer in 2019, and I looked at the people that they were saying, this person's done this race 4 times, 5 times, and you look at these people and go, wow, they must have so much knowledge. I mean, I'm going to be that person now. And I want people to know that, whether it's your first time or your whatever, there's always something to learn. I mean, we learnt things and had to solve problems in this race that I'd never had before, and it wasn't. There's no book about this. This is what you do when this happens. That's why you build the team. That's why you have your support. I mean, we had over 50 people in a WhatsApp group, and we had, everyone throwing their like opinion and 2 cents worth in. Try this and try that.
Yeah.
But I guess, being back in Noosa, I just want to make sure that I can enjoy it, extend, my ohana, like the family, and meet, some new people. I mean, we met some great people here, as you did as well, and and those people will be lifelong friends.
Yeah, yeah. And if people are listening back that Australia, or people that are going to be going to Australia, that Shane's not just saying that, like, reach out to him. He will talk to you starting today about what you can do and how to help you out if you have those questions. He is a knowledgeable man at this point in these races, and he's the friendliest man. So you got to reach out and make those contacts, because he's here to help people. I can see that in him. So I'm not going to put you on the spot and say what's next, because I don't even know if you've thought about what's next. But
I can tell you what's going to be next is trying to fit this stuff back into my bags and get it home. I mean, last night I was at the awards. The people who know how the awards run, each athlete has an opportunity to have normally 3 minutes to present, their story and thank yous. And with the field being a little bit smaller here in Arizona this year, we'll extend it an extra minute. And I had notes to try and make sure that I stuck to a plan. And as soon as I stood up there, I was just like, similar to the run, like, where is my head? I mean, there's so many people to thank. And upon the end of that, and Jen McVeigh doing her little
side shuffle
waltz into, like, remind you that your time is up. And me thinking I was getting in trouble, they sort of snuck up behind me with an award for completing the 4 North American races. And this thing is the size of my bike wheel. And it was a total shock. So I've got to work out some way of getting this thing home now.
Yeah. That's a good problem to have, I think.
Yeah. So I might see if I can drag it along to Noosa and show it off, and hopefully now that this has been done, that we can someone else can come along and do this as well. I mean, this race was amazing. The world record was broken. So many people had so many personal achievements, and to be a part of that was just amazing. So.
Yeah, and your story is still unfolding. You've now got the 4 Ultraman branded races 515 Ultraman Australia, and another one to come to make it a 6-pack in 1 calendar year, a feat that's never been done, nor has what you've got to at this point ever been done. So look forward to following you in the new WhatsApp group or the extended WhatsApp group, because I'm sure people are all going to want to be in it for your NUSA race. And good luck to you on getting that 6-1 finally done.
Thank you very much, Larry.
Hey, if you liked what you heard today, please tell a friend and be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. We'd appreciate it if you'd rate and review the show while you're there. Drop the names of the people you think we should interview and we'll get in touch with them and make that happen. Thank you for listening to 515, the Ultra Podcast, a production of 55 Enterprises. Now really, go subscribe now before you forget.